Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and this is
Jay.
And we have some news stories from around the land of smiles for you today, this Friday, September 20th. Now, today we'll be talking about new rules for street vendors around Thailand, renovations coming to Bangkok sidewalks, and later we'll be diving into the storylines heading into Singapore's F1 Grand Prix. But first, our first story today is about Thai authorities shutting down 21 illegal villas on Koh Samui. Now, Thai authorities have shut down 21 luxury villas on Koh Samui's Koh Phangan mountain due to illegal construction, evicting foreign tenants. The crackdown involved municipal, military, and ombudsman officials targeting villas built without permits. 3 of the closed villas were occupied by foreigners, including a Frenchman paying 20,000 baht a month, unaware of the legal issues. All tenants cooperated and left quickly. The crackdown is part of a broader effort to address 46 illegal properties developed by 3 companies. Authorities confirmed the villas were constructed without proper building permits. How does this happen? That many buildings being built without anybody checking the paperwork to make sure that everything's okay?
Well, this has happened plenty of times in Phuket as well. Talk about illegal building. Like when you're going down, for example, next time when you're going down Kata Hill. No, not Kata Hill. What am I saying? When you're going after Surin. What's after Surin?
You're the Phuket boy, dude. What am I doing?
All right. What's after Surin, Jason? After Surin, when you're going down the mountains, you can see there's these gorgeous buildings on the mountains, all abandoned.
Oh, really?
All abandoned. And it's all because of illegal permits. You know, they kind of use the gray area to start building it, and then eventually catches up to them.
Dude. With something as serious as like houses and the amount of investment that goes into it, that's not somewhere you want to be cutting corners. So yeah, I don't know. I feel for these guys paying 20,000 a month, like thinking he's living there, and then sorry. Got to hit the road, Jack, but sad.
Next stories. The Thai Prime Minister faces pressure over Thaksin's hospital stay controversy. The Thai Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, faces growing pressure over allegations that her father, Thaksin Shinawatra, faked a critical illness to avoid jail time. Staying in a private hospital ward, a petition submitted on September 18th demands full disclosure, including CCTV footage which could incriminate Thaksin or expose Paetongtarn to charges of neglecting her duties. Thaksin was sentenced to 8 years, later reduced to 1 via royal pardon, but has yet to serve time. The National Anti-Corruption Commission is seeking evidence, while Paetongtarn's political figure hangs in the balance.
Yeah, I don't know about this. It's what do you like?
She needs to make an example out of her father.
Wouldn't you expect that? I mean, you wouldn't, right? I don't know. I think it's just a sign of the Are they just teeing her up to be removed again? Is this the...
I feel like Thaksin needs to do his daughter a solid here and be like, hey, I'm going to hook you up for the PM position. I'm going to solidify your position by going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was expected, or maybe just fleeing the country again. Yeah. But no, this is not good. They're already trying to drum up all sorts of things. There's already complaints filed against her. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's a rocky start for her political career, because this is Prime Minister is the start of her political career, which is just wild to me. So shows the power of that Shinawat political dynasty, I think. All right, on to the next one.
Russia.
Yeah. Now, Russian and Turkish nationals have been arrested for illegal work on Koh Phangan. Tisk tisk. 2 foreign nationals, a Russian and a Turkish citizen, were arrested on Koh Phangan for working illegally in IT and interior installation services. On September 18th, Thai authorities cracked down on foreign workers performing jobs reserved for Thai nationals only. Now, Alexander, a 34-year-old Russian, was caught installing CCTV systems and other electronics without proper authorization. I wonder, did he catch himself with that CCTV?
Naughty boy, Alexander.
Now, yeah, indeed. He revealed that while his official job was in marketing, his technical work earned him extra income. Meanwhile, Chai Tai, a 45-year-old Turkish national, was arrested for performing interior installations without a work permit. Both face legal action.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? People do all sorts of crazy little odd jobs all the time here in Thailand.
Yeah.
usually without consequence, something like that. What do you make of this? These guys had legal jobs,
Yeah.
but then were doing side gigs that were not legal. What do you think?
Well, look, a
Consequences?
side gig's a side gig.
Yeah.
They've clearly like upset somebody because someone's gone out of their way to kind of complain about, oh, how dare he install a CCTV camera?
Yeah. Definitely somebody dobbed them in, I think. There's no way, like, whether it's customers. But then I guess that is taking up jobs that are supposed to be reserved for Thai people.
True.
And especially with so many foreign nationals moving to Thailand, I can understand that being a concern.
Yeah.
At the same time, man, like, I don't know. It's getting, the whole world is getting more expensive. And the side hustles are important for survival, I feel like. So I'm of two minds of this one. But, it's tough stuff.
Two minds.
Yeah. Now, there are new Bangkok street vending rules. Oh, wait, this was your story. My
Sorry,
bad.
just go with it.
Fine. Bangkok's new regulations restrict street vending to low-income Thais, including migrant workers from the sector. To qualify, vendors must hold government welfare cards, be repaying National Housing Authority properties, and earn less than 300,000 baht annually after expenses. The rules aim to support low-income citizens and improve public spaces, requiring vendors to maintain clear pedestrian walkways and adhere to public health standards. Stalls are limited in size and must follow safety guidelines. While some applaud the move, others criticize it, raising concerns about the future of Bangkok's street vending culture. What do you make of that? Like, increased regulations, that's good.
Yeah.
Like health and safety standards, I think that's good. But then also saying, okay, if you earn above a certain point, you can't operate anymore.
Don't do it.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
Take your blood money and go away.
Yeah, pig's blood soup, something like that. But suffering from success, though, what do you like? So if somebody is in a street stall and they achieve a certain level of success,
Then you need to open a restaurant.
yeah, fair enough, right? Yeah,
Because nobody likes it when you're in a market and only one food stall's really busy, and the food stall next to you is just kind of like sitting there sadly, like, oh.
Well, I think you nailed it right there. I guess if
I
you're
think that's the
suffering,
reason why they're doing it. But look, it is a bit silly. It's like, not everyone has the funds. You can be a successful food stall and not have enough money to open a restaurant.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Like, the overhead's a lot lower when
Yeah.
you're doing the food stalls. That's for sure. But I don't know. I feel a little weird about that. Like, but also at the same time, yeah, you're right. You want to diversify things and make sure everybody has an opportunity.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is the kind of stuff that actually protects poorer people in Thailand. Otherwise, corporations would just start popping up all sorts of
Yeah.
successful stalls and just sort of push people out of the market. So, all right, probably a good idea. Anyways, you want the next one?
I do.
I
I can.
stole it from you. Are you getting out of here soon?
I do need to get out
Okay,
of here.
all right. We'll
actually.
get the next one first, and
right.
we'll move on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to move on to our next story, which is regarding Bangkok and Governor Chadchart. Now, Bangkok Governor Chadchart Sitipan is overseeing a 20-kilometer renovation of Lat Phrao Road's deteriorating footpaths, now which have suffered years of neglect due to construction projects like the Yellow Line, MRT, and underground power line installations. The governor aims to create safer, more accessible sidewalks using universal design principles while the project causes temporary disruption. Chadchart assures residents the improvements expected by early 2025 will enhance the city's walkability. He emphasized the need for careful construction management and safety measures to minimize public inconvenience during the overhaul.
I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know. I mean, good news. Like everybody knows that the walkways in Bangkok are leaving something to be desired. I guess I'll say.
Yeah, and also look, it's easy to just be like, "Hey, fix everything," but I don't think the walkways even in Asok are that great, to be honest. But we're at a, fix what's really broken before we fix the mildly broken.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't know. I feel like I
area.
trip every single day off some thing. God forbid it rains. You step on one of those Indiana Jones trick tiles that splashes your whole foot, ruins your day. Definitely an issue here, like the walkways in Bangkok, and I'm glad to see some actions being taken. Yeah, wish it was in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, lucky for Lat Phrao, I guess.
All right. Anyways, Guys, I must take my leave now. Je apologize. Thank
Yeah.
you. It was nice stepping in for a bit, but I've just got called to an emergency meeting. So
Boss problems, dude.
just gotta go.
Yeah. Do your thing, man.
Have a great Friday, guys, everyone. Love,
Yeah.
love.
All right, moving on. We got one last story for Thailand before we head into the ASEAN region. All right, so speaking of transportation in Bangkok. Now, Bangkok is hosting a car-free day to promote pedestrian-friendly spaces. That's right, Bangkok is gearing up for Car-Free Day this weekend, transforming Ban That Thong Road into a vehicle-free zone for tourists to enjoy. The event, Bangkok Car-Free 2024, Connecting for Life, coincides with World Car Free Day on September 22nd. The initiative promotes the First Mile, Last Mile project, encouraging public transport over personal cars. From 4 p.m. to midnight on Saturday and Sunday, the road will be open to foot traffic only, featuring street performances and activities. If successful, the area could become a permanent pedestrian zone. Love it. I love to see it. Like I'm so sick of the amount of well, first of all, traffic in Bangkok is goddamn ridiculous. Pardon my language. I get frustrated about it because every time I try to get from point A to point B, like I will be tonight trying to get to the Muay Thai fights. If you take a car, what would normally be with no traffic a 20-25 minute ride, it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to do because of the traffic. So any efforts to alleviate that and try to make the city a more walkable city, more public transport, I say kudos. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Would any of you in Bangkok be going to check this out? I love the performances, the street art. I'm gonna walk by. It's on a Sunday. I'm going to try to get out of the house and have some fun and support that event. So let me know if you're going to be making it too. All right. At least Jay's here to show his face. Mandalik like that. You are pardoned, says the road food dude. And 5 to 6 p.m. traffic, not Elon Musk says, is way too cray. That it is. I am not a fan. The only way to get around is by bikes or helicopter, if you can afford that. I actually saw a helicopter landing on a rooftop the other day. I was like, okay, these helicopter pads are being used. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news. Now we're going to head into the greater ASEAN region and actually East Asia as well. We'll be talking about some stories. And the first one I have to talk about is a very harrowing tale. Okay, guys, so a 10-year-old Japanese boy was fatally stabbed near his school in China. So, unfortunately, this 10-year-old boy was stabbed earlier this week and succumbed to his wounds in Shenzhen, China. He was stabbed by a 44-year-old man named Zhong. The boy, a student at the Shenzhen Japanese school, died from his injuries on September 19th, raising concerns about rising nationalist violence against foreigners in China. While the motive remains unclear, some speculate the attack may have been driven by anti-Japanese sentiment. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida condemned the crime, and Beijing has launched an investigation. The incident comes amid rising tensions and historical grievances between China and Japan. So this is something that anybody who's lived in China before understands has been an issue for us lately. So I've had plenty of friends. I've lived in China myself. I've had plenty of friends move out of China due to rising racial tensions. There's ever since the lockdowns, there's been a lot of blame shifted towards foreigners in general. I've known plenty of my Western friends. Like, people walk across the street, they cover their mouths, they look away whenever they see farangs. Now, anti-Japanese sentiments in China have been high for decades, and China has used tons of nationalist rhetoric to sort of, bolster their own support. It's a classic playbook, right? In the world of politics, look at the other guy, blame the outsiders, blame the foreigners, so you don't blame us for when things are going wrong. And unfortunately, sometimes that rhetoric escalates into this insane, absolutely tragic kind of event. We'll see. We'll see if China will tone down its rhetoric. I am not too hopeful of that. It does seem like ever since Xi Jinping has become president for life, we have seen a major uptick in this sort of anti-foreign nationalistic sentiments. So anyways, let me know what you guys say in the comments about this story. I hope we can de-escalate things and avoid this kind of thing from happening in the future. All right. Anyways, on to our next story, which is another interesting political tale coming out of Vietnam. A Vietnamese tycoon is facing additional fraud charges in a major corruption case and could face the death penalty. Vietnamese property tycoon Trung Mai Lan, sentenced to death in April for her role in a $12.5 billion financial fraud, is now facing additional fraud charges. Lan, chair of the Van Trinh real estate company, is accused of raising $1.2 billion from 36,000 investors through illegal bond issuance and laundering $18.1 billion as well. Her actions also involved illegal cross-border money transfers totaling $4.5 billion. The ongoing trial is part of Vietnam's intense anti-corruption campaign, which has targeted high-profile business executives and officials. Victims of the fraud have protested, with many losing their life savings. So this is fascinating, right? Like, I feel like, we talk about how Asia goes very hard on, say, drug crimes. They go very hard on, obviously, other kinds of crimes that people facing the death penalty. Interesting to see that can also face the death penalty for financial crimes. Like, I mean, for as an American, this is just unheard of. We hear people on Wall Street get away with like all sorts of crazy stuff all the time. 2008 financial crisis, famously, only one guy did any jail time, and it was pretty minimal at that. So to see that, like, people's lives are ruined, right? Life savings are wiped out. To see such an intense punishment, right? The death penalty being assigned to this money launderer, tycoon who swindled people out of billions of dollars. Of course, like, these are the accusations, allegations at this point. I'm pretty sure she was convicted already. So that is interesting to me, because it's certainly not something that we ever see in the West. And to be honest, hopefully that's exactly the kind of discouragement that is needed to keep people from doing this kind of stuff and really ruining people's lives. What do you make about that? Like, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Okay, now let's go to some brighter news. I got some economic news, and later we're going to be talking about supercars again. We're talking about the economic diplomacy. Yes, we're good. You're good. Now, the UK and Indonesia are signing a critical minerals partnership. That's right. The UK and Indonesia signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, to establish a strategic partnership on critical minerals, focusing on supply chain resilience and sustainable mineral processing. Signed on September 18th by UK Development Minister Annelies Dodds and Indonesia's Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources Bahlil Lahadaila, the agreement aims to create local jobs and protect the environment. Indonesia, rich in critical minerals like nickel, is central to the electric vehicle industry. The deal comes amid Indonesia's efforts to reduce Chinese influence in its nickel industry and align with global trade policies. Well, there you go. That's big news, because it's creating these major trade incentives, right? These trade agreements and relationships between Southeast Asia and the more developed economies of the world, particularly when it comes to natural resources, that they're going to be able to get away from that Chinese influence. So, having these massive nickel resources, all of these metals that are very important for battery development, other electronics. I mean, the biggest consumer markets are still in the West, but at the same time, China has so much money and so much influence, and they are in a resource buying tear, right? Like, they do this all over Africa, in Middle Asia as well, Southeast Asia as well. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. We would call this an economic Cold War, I guess. I don't think anything's ever going to go hot between the superpowers these days. But this is the way that the West should be acting with its developmental partners, and giving them the support they need to say no to some of the more questionable parties that they have to do business with. All right, on to our last story, guys, and we got a fun one to end on. Now, Singapore. The F1 Grand Prix 2024 is coming, and here are some key storylines to watch. So the 2024 Singapore Grand Prix promises excitement, with McLaren and Ferrari continuing their battle. Red Bull is aiming for a comeback, and Kevin Magnussen is returning for Haas. Our Red Bull, struggling. Now, Singapore's challenging conditions will also test drivers, adding to the drama of the night race. McLaren and Ferrari have each taken one victory in recent races, while Red Bull's Max Verstappen leads the championship despite recent struggles. The event will be a true test of driver endurance and concentration due to the humid conditions and the long race duration. Yeah, fun. F1, Singapore. Now, I thought it was funny. Thailand, obviously, has been in its efforts to try and get F1 over here. I think we got, what did we get? F1E? What is that thing? We're getting the electric vehicle. Formula E, excuse me. So we're getting the electric vehicle version of it. Doubtfully as exciting as what Singapore is going to have going on within the coming days. But yeah, please check it out. Let me know. Are you guys supercar fans, F1 fans? That's not a supercar, is it? Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you guys do tune in. It's in a proper time zone for those of us in Asia for a change. So I hope you can enjoy. All right, guys, I'll get into the comments in a second. Let me just close up the show. Thank you for joining us this Friday, September 20th. We will be off for the weekend. We'll be back with you on Monday. You can always go to thetiger.com throughout the day to get more news updates about what's happening around the land of smiles. Also, head over to ASEAN Now as well, where you can sign up for an account. You can join the conversation, blah, blah, blah. And please, guys, I know a lot of you guys are here on YouTube. Like and subscribe here. Yes, thank you. But also, go check out our Instagram or our TikTok, whichever you prefer, because we post a lot of content over there that you might not see here on YouTube. So we post little funny videos, extra news updates throughout the day. We just did an update on the new cannabis bill regulation. I missed that yesterday. I did it as some breaking news on other social media platforms. So please do like, subscribe over there as well. All right, cool. That'll do it for the show. Let me get into the comments and just, sign off with you guys for the weekend.